Okay, so what we will do right now, ये screen बढ़ाने का. So we are doing chapter 5 today. Chapter 5. So chapter 5 is about two things. We are doing two concepts. One is called absolute value. Absolute value, जिसको आप mod function के नाम से भी जानते हो. And second is, we'll talk about complex numbers. Complex numbers. Now, if you see, both are very interesting, important topic with respect to SAT. Complex numbers, एक question आना चाहिए इसमें से. And generally, एक ही आता है, not even zero. So at times, if you are very lucky, you may get two, but mostly we have seen that you get one problem from complex number. This is a higher maths topic which you mostly study in 11th standard. And absolute value say there could be 2 to 3 problems which could be mixed with inequalities, word problem, functions के साथ mixed होकर के. So all in all, we are looking at around 3 problems from this session today. So आज के लिए the important thing here would be to first understand the concept like we always do and then solve some problem. And I'll go in this order only. हम लोग पहले absolute value करेंगे, फिर हम लोग complex numbers. So चलो, let me start with absolute value function. So this is चालू करते हैं. So first, let's do a theory part, some basic understanding of what do we mean by absolute value function. बताओ, what is your understanding? क्या समझते हो तुम absolute value से? Okay, so absolute value basically means, let me define. So let's say I've got a number line. Okay, and on number line somewhere there is 0. So when we say absolute value of a given number, let's say number is 11. So when I say absolute value, I mean distance of the given number from number 0. So this distance is 11. Let's have another number which is minus 8 on the left side of 0. इसका absolute value हो जाएगा not minus 8 but 8 because distance of minus 8 from 0 is 8. Very good. So this is a very basic understanding of absolute value with respect to number line. अगर मुझे इसको mod function की तरह read करना है, if I have to understand it from a function's view, then definition goes like this. Finding absolute value, you will have these, I call them vertical brackets. उसके बीच में कुछ value होगा, let's say x. So absolute value or absolute function of x is defined as x if x is greater than or equal to 0. Otherwise, it is minus x if x is less than 0. So x का जो value है, if it is greater than or equal to 0, is x. This function will give you return a value which is x. If inside this bracket, mod function जिसको बोलते हैं हम, if it is less than 0, then it will return minus, basically sign change. So absolute value for minus 4 would be minus of minus 4, which is basically plus 4. So x लो और उसमें इसका sign change कर दो, अगर ये negative है, because this is less than 0, I'll apply this. Had it been plus 4, which is greater than or equal to 0, I would have not done anything. I would have reproduced it as it is. This is absolute value. So this is concept 1 that we must remember. Absolute value. Would any doubt here? The second thing that I want you to remember when we are talking about absolute value. So we हमने क्या देखा? हमने concept देखा इसमें. Let's go ahead. Now, whenever I talk about absolute value, remember, absolute value दो तरह से आएंगे हमको questions. एक आएगा equal to sign के साथ, and or. with inequality greater than, less than, greater than equal to, less than equal to, इन दोनों के साथ आएगा. An absolute value treatment would change if it is with an equal to sign or if it is without equal to sign. So we are doing second thing in absolute value. With respect to SCP, ये जानना जरूरी है. तो सबसे पहले लेते हैं when absolute value is with an equal to sign. इसके साथ लेते हैं. So let's say I have an expression which says mod of x plus 2 is equal to, let's say, x. Okay? Let's try and see this. जब भी ऐसा आएगा, I recommend that you follow certain steps. First step is, अच्छा इसको थोड़ा सा complex बना देता हूँ. Let's say this is 8, or rather let's say this is 24, and you have got a 4 output. So the first step is called as isolation. Isolate all absolute value functions on one side and everything else on the other side. So if I have to do that, I divide 2 out by 4. So मुझे क्या मिलेगा? Mod of x plus 2 is equal to 24 by 4 is 6. By doing this, what I have done, I have isolated mod function on my left side and everything else on the right side. ये समझ में आ गया? After you have done that, the second step is divide the working space. Isolate, divide. So divide working space in 2 halves. Working space को हमने 2 halves में divide किया. The third is, after you have done that division, एक positive sign के साथ work करो और एक negative sign के साथ work करो. ये क्या होता है? जो भी अंदर का piece है, take it as positive. X plus 2, मान लो positive है, equal to 6. और second part में भी अंदर वाला piece को negative मान. X plus 2 का sign negative लेके चलो. Entire piece, x plus 2 whole bracket minus is equal to 6. The fourth step is solve. Solve each one. So let's solve. X is equal to 4. इसको solve करते हैं. X plus 2 is equal to minus 6 or x is equal to minus. So I am getting two values of x for which given inequality is true. जब मैं x को 4 रखूंगा तो भी inequality true है. Sorry, ये equation true है. जब मैं x को -8 रखूंगा, then it is true. Let's see, x is -8 plus 2 minus 6 mod function is 6, x into 4 is 2. So I am getting two values of x for which this equation is true. बोलिए any problem in this? ये समझ में आ गया आपको? तो ये इक्वल टू साइन के साथ करना, आइसोलेट करना है, वर्क स्पेस को डिवाइड करना है, अंदर वाला पार्ट पूरा पॉजिटिव मान के पार्ट सॉल्व करो, अंदर वाला पार्ट पूरा नेगेटिव मान के पूरा सॉल्व करो, and you will get corresponding. Okay, can I go ahead? Now let us assume that ये यहाँ पर this was not an equal to sign, it was a greater than sign. ठीक है, अब inequality के साथ साथ same steps. Isolate, to divide throughout by 4. हमने inequality में पढ़ा था, if you are dividing by the same positive quantity, sense of inequality will not change. Divide by 4, divide by 4. ठीक है, so isolate, divide the space. अंदर वाला पार्ट पॉजिटिव, x plus 2 greater than 6. अंदर वाला पार्ट नेगेटिव, minus of x plus 2 greater than 6. Solve each part. Subtract 2 from both sides. X plus 2 minus 2 is x, greater than 6 minus 2. So I can say, because same negative same quantity को subtract here, sense of inequality will not change. And answer value of x is greater than 4. बोलिए, for any value greater than 4, अभी ऐसा लग रहा है this should be true. आगे solve करो. Now this is minus, multiply by -1 on both sides. इसको -1 से multiply करेंगे, ये हो जाएगा x plus 2. ये हो जाएगा -6. Because I am multiplying by a negative sign, sense of inequality will change. ठीक है? That's all. Subtract -2 from both sides. बोलो, ये समझ में आया? So if you look on the number line, what is your solution here? Look on the number line. Number line पे देखते हैं. Let's say this is 0. Let's say somewhere here you have -8. Let's say somewhere here you have plus 4. So your solution says any value greater than 4 and any value, or rather any value less than -8, ये सब इसका सॉल्यूशन है. अब ये एक बार आप देख लो, आप ऑब्जर्व कर लो, एब्जॉर्ब कर लो, then we will go ahead and do one more concept and then we'll go for problem solving. ये समझ लो बस. I do understood कि मैंने hollow circle क्यों बनाया? Yes. So we pick any value, let's say -10. -10 लेते हैं, यहीं पे रखते हैं, -10. -10 plus 2 is -8. Mod of -8 is 8. 8 is greater than 6. यहाँ पे कोई बड़ी वैल्यू लेना है, +10. 10 plus 2, 12. Mod of 12 is 12. 12 is greater than 6. This is true. So this is how basically you will be solving this. इसमें कोई इश्यू है तो आप बताइए. ये समझ में आ गया आप लोगों आपको? तो एब्सोल्यूट वैल्यू में हमने कॉन्सेप्ट देखा, ट्रीटमेंट विद इक्वल टू साइन देखा, ट्रीटमेंट विद इनइक्वालिटी. चलो अब और कुछ है जिन्हें पास कवर करना है. ठीक है. अब आई थिंक आई कैन क्रिएट सम प्रॉब्लम्स, वी डिस्कस सम प्रॉब्लम्स एंड देन वी गो टू कॉम्प्लेक्स. अगर तुमको ये समझ में आ गया तो मैं आगे चलता हूँ. अब दो मेथड हैं, दो तरीके हैं. Same, you have your book, so you can refer problems on your book, or you can also see them here. Since this is also supposed to be a hybrid class, so हम लोग question यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं. ठीक है? So I want you to solve this problem, which is question number 3 on your book. A, B, C, D. Since you're the only student, so you can announce your answer. Follow.
Option B.
D, correct. So since you have got this correct, I may not discuss this unless and until you tell me कि तुमको इसमें कुछ डिस्कस करना है या मेथड समझना है. ठीक है, तो अब इसको करते हैं. So if I am you girl, this is how I would solve. तो ये क्लास रिकॉर्ड होगी तो मुझे ध्यान रखना है कि no recording also happens. Okay. So if I am you, I will solve it like this. मुझे क्वेश्चन बताना. Twice of x plus 3 is equal to 4 and y mod of y plus 1 upon 3 equal to
Yes.
is equal to what? 2. Okay. So my method tells me पहले इसको solve करते हैं x वाला part. Isolate. So if I isolate, it is x plus 3 is equal to 2. Divide the space. X plus 3 is equal to 2 and minus of x plus 3 is equal to 3. So I'll get x is equal to minus 1. Minus, okay, so x plus 3 is equal to minus 2 or x is equal to minus 5. यही था ना?
Yes.
So this is how we do it. Coming down to y, isolate. Mod of x plus 1 is equal to 6. Divide y plus y plus 1 is equal to 6. Minus of y plus 1 is equal to 6. Y is equal to 5. Y plus 1 is equal to minus 6. Y is equal to minus. Now they are saying mod of x plus y can be following except कौन सा पॉसिबल नहीं है ठीक है सबसे पहले उसमें 0 था 0 पॉसिबल है डिवाइडेड बाय x is -5 and 5 possible है and so on I try let's see 10 whatever value of इसमें 12 था I take this as -5 and -7 so -5 -7 -12 come out 12 possible but whatever you do 10 is not possible if I take one value of x and y add them and mod become answer is 10 is not possible. बोलिए ठीक है we go to next problem. Next problem is कौन सा question create share let's solve the fourth one. Very good problem. Find the interval of x इससे पहले वाला समझ में आ गया ना अगर कुछ बात है उसमें कोई डिस्कशन कुछ करना है और ठीक है चलो ये वाला सवाल और
Sir, option A.
ऑप्शन चलो लेट्स सॉल्व करते हैं इसको बताओ मुझे इक्वेशन क्या है 3 times mod of x plus 1 minus 8
is
greater than
7.
7 isolate so 3 times mod of x plus 1 add 8 on both sides divide by 3 on both sides 5 Divide the space. X plus 1 is equal to 5 or x is equal to, sorry, not equal. X plus 1 is greater than 5, x is greater than 4. Okay, आगे चल. Negative of x plus 1 is greater than 5. X plus 1 minus 5 sign change. क्योंकि minus 1 से multiply किया. So x is less than minus 6. ठीक है? अब तो गड़बड़ है आपका. You have made some mistake somewhere. Maybe in sign change. So answer is x is greater than 4 or x is less than minus 6. तो number 9 पे वैसा वाला है. It's not included. बोलो. So कौन सा ऑप्शन है?
Sir, options.
Option C is the right answer and not A.
Yes.
Could you identify where did you make a mistake here?
Sir, I forgot that minus.
And that is where they know you will make such a mistake and they'll give you an option जिससे वो mistake से वही आंसर आता है. ठीक है? चलो good practice. आगे बढ़ते हैं. अच्छा एक practice वाला problem था ये. So we go to next problem. Let's solve this. This is real SAT. Solve this. I'll give you, let's say what, 45 seconds. Solve karo sixth problem from your book.
Sir, option C.
Option C. Let me write down the question. So question says mod of x plus 3 is less than 5. Isolate करने की जरूरत ही नहीं है. Right? Divide the space. X plus 3 is less than 5. Or can I say x is less than 2? बोल सकते हैं क्या ऐसा? बोल सकते हैं. आगे चलते हैं. X plus 3 का negative is less than 5. Multiply by minus 1 throughout. X plus 3 minus 5 sign change. और x is greater than, बोलो, नंबर लाइन पे बनाते हैं. X has to be less than 2 but greater than minus 8. तो ये वाला रेंज है ना. Great, less than 2 and greater than minus 8. Which option? D. This is option D. अब आपने कैसे निकाला C? How come C?
This is the science.
नहीं, you got signs also right.
Sir, I got confused at this. I heard this one was greater than.
So you got signs right. This is correct. This is correct. The mistake that you made was when you were looking at the options. वहाँ पे गड़बड़ी कर दिया. You got it right. But see, when you were looking at the options, and you said C, आपने बोला x is greater than 2 and less than minus 8. दो आपने यहाँ सही लिखा है. तो आपने read गलत किया, है ना?
Yes.
So answer is option B. चलो, अभी तो you have got 2 wrong. Let's see this one. Something similar. हमने ऐसा question किया है. I'll give you again 45 seconds. Please solve. Is there a similar problem? small. बोलो भाई, which must be true for x?
Sir, option B.
Option B. ठीक है. So, solve करो यहाँ पे ये क्वेश्चन यहाँ पे. पेन लो, बोर्ड पे सॉल्व करो. Mod of 3x minus 4 is less than 5. So, do it. 3x minus 4 less than 5. So, let's divide the space. एक लाइन खींच दो पहले. ये mod लगाओ फिर. हाँ. चलो, आइसोलेट करने का कुछ भी नहीं है. डिवाइड द स्पेस. So 3x minus 4 less than 5. Okay. No problem. 3x minus 4 is less than 5. Okay. And minus of 3x minus 4 is less than 5. Correct. Okay. So this is 3x is less than 9 or x is less than 3. Great. So let's solve this one. 3x minus 4 becomes greater than minus 1. Correct. So 3x becomes greater than minus 1. Correct. So x becomes greater than minus 1 by 3. Did you make any mistake while solving?
Yes.
Copy पे की board में?
Board.
Copy. Then बंद करके रखो यहाँ पे. Go back to your space. Look into your copy. देखो क्या गलती की है. Your working is here. देखो क्या गलती किया. अब मैं बताऊँ आपने क्या गलती की है. आपने -5 दिया ही.
So I put -5 but I added it.
So it's not that you don't know. अभी 3 problems में of similar nature, either you are not following step या कुछ तो गड़बड़ कर रहे हो. Because these are simple things. अभी तुझे एकदम same किया. So answer would be x has to be greater than -1 by 3 but less than 3. So ये ऐसा बनेगा. Right? This is the answer. Which option?
Sir, option B.
D. Option D is right. Again.
Yes.
तो ऐसे ही है सारे questions. Now, would you want to do some more questions? और करें? Yes, रेखा मैडम.
तो कुछ नहीं, नेट का इश्यू हुआ था मेरा.
ठीक है मैडम, चलो आगे चलते हैं. तो गर्ल क्वेश्चन में ये चलो करते हैं. A very good SAT problem, let's see. And I'll give you 1.5 minutes. करो इसको. What is the value of mod of b minus a?
Sir, option B.
Correct. Now, since you have got this right, let me know if you want a discussion on this. मैं solve करूँ इसको कि आपने कर लिया है, कोई doubt नहीं है. Good. So you have got finally one correct. Now थोड़ा confidence आएगा. Anyway, आपका factual problem नहीं था. You are not getting principally things wrong. Reading में, sign change में, and this is where students make mistake. Otherwise, this is fairly easy problems. These are fairly easy. Let's see. Challenge problem 1. Now this is not there in your book. तो ये आपको यहाँ पे देखना है. Calculator not allowed. Let's solve this. If these two conditions are given, what is smallest possible value of xy? So xy here means x into y. Okay, so solve for. Yeah, that is minus 2y plus a. Correct.
Sir, option B.
Option
D.
D. क्या करना है? आ जाओ बोर्ड पे. सॉल्व करो. क्वेश्चन वहां पे है, आप ये देख लो, सॉल्व करो. So let's do one expression on your left side, other on your right hand side. Solve. Yes. So x should give you two values, expression 1, and from expression 2 you should get y का two values. Yes. Equal to 12. So let's only solve this side. Divide the board. दोनों लिख लो ना, दोनों लिख लो पहले. वो भी लिख लो उस तरफ वाला. y वाला भी लिख लो इधर. चलो. Mod of minus 2y plus a equal to 30. Now let's see answer option B. That's all. Correct. Yes. Good. Okay. Solve. Good enough. Fair. Good. ठीक है? Okay. चलो divide this space. There is nothing to isolate. 2y plus 8 is equal to 30. Minus of minus 2y plus 8 is equal to 30. Okay. Then solve for our minus 2y is equal to 22 or y is equal to minus 11. Fantastic. Okay. Plus 2y minus 8 is equal to 30. Okay. 2y is equal to 38. Fantastic. Okay. Y is equal to 19. Now you have to find minimum possible value. Question यही था?
Yes.
ठीक है. Minimum value निकालना है तो कैसे निकालोगे? What would you do now?
So I take the smallest value.
So minimum value would come when I take highest possible positive integer or a number multiplied by lowest possible integer on this side. So possibilities are यहाँ पे 2 ले लो और ये minus 11, which you did. You took these two and you got minus 20. But is it the least possible? What happens if you do this thing? 9 6 are 4, 6, 5, 11. This is minimum value for x and 2. आया समझ में? देखो आप जाओ वापस अपनी टेबल पे. Check what we have done here and what you have done in your copy. Are they different? What mistake have you made here?
Sir, I forgot the second one.
हाँ, you thought कि बस ये हो गया, इससे कम क्या होगा because minus आ गया तो ये सबसे कम. And unfortunately, this was one of the options. Okay. So, आगे चलते हैं. So this was one of the challenge problems. मैं ना तुम्हारा challenge problem का स्कोर यहीं पे बनाता हूँ. So that आपको थोड़ा सा competitiveness आ जाए कि okay. यहीं पे बनाते जाते हैं. मैंने यहाँ पे लिखा हूँ. I'll call them challenge problem CP. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, चलो आगे चलते हैं. Let's see. हाँ, ये एक interesting problem है. Question number 16. A very typical SAT type problem. This is how you could see absolute value questions with word. Okay, you read it. I think we will do this together. You read it once and read it loudly.
The Earth is made up of 4 primary layers: the inner core, outer core, mantle, and crust. The outer core is more than 800 miles and less than 2200 miles from Earth's center. Which of the following inequalities present all of the possible distance taken in miles from the Earth's center that are in the outer core?
So there is a variable which is d, and they say that d represents all the distance between what? From Earth's center to the outer core. And Earth center to outer core कितना है? It is something like more than 800 miles, but less than 2200 miles. Okay. Now the idea is to find which of the given options is basically this expression. Okay. ये ढूंढना है हमको. One of the ways is we go by options. So let's say option A is correct. Option A को solve करते हैं. What is option A? Option A होता है that mod of b plus 800 should be less than. Let's solve this. Divide this space. अब मैं थोड़ा fast करूँगा. You be with me. Okay. So can I say b is less than 1400? Huh? b to be less than 1400 is not making sense here. मुझे next वाला part करना नहीं चाहिए, but let's do it. D of plus 800 greater than minus 2200. I written up one step. Is that okay?
Yes.
So D is greater than minus doesn't make sense. ये वो है ही. Option A is not right. Rule it out.
Yes.
Let's go to option B. What is option B?
The
Mod of
B minus 8
D minus 800
is less than
is less than
22.
2200. Sure. Divide this space. So D minus 800 is less than 2200 or D is less than 3000. Now this is creating problem because if D is less than 3000, that means D can be 2500 also.
Yes.
But in our case, ऐसा तो ही इसलिए लिखना नहीं रहा. तो ये गड़बड़ है. But anyway, for the understanding sake, I will do it here. Again, I am picking up one step. I hope you have recognized it.
Yes.
Making no sense. Distance greater than minus 1400. Anyway, हमारा limit तो यही है. So B is not the answer. Go to the C part. Option C क्या है?
Mod of B plus
Mod of D plus
1500
हाँ
is less than 7.
is less than 7. ठीक है. Let's solve this. Divide this space. So B plus 1500 less than 700 or D is less than minus 800. Again, doesn't make any sense. D has to be greater than 800. के बोल रहा है D is less than minus 800. Anyway, let's solve it. मैं फिर एक step खा लेता हूँ. Okay.
Yes.
Or I can say D is greater than.
Minus
Not making any sense. Yes. अब आपको C तो चेक ही नहीं, D तो चेक ही नहीं करना है. अगर तीन ऑप्शन आंसर नहीं है तो वो लास्ट वाला ही आंसर होगा. बट क्लास में तो चेक करते हैं. बट वो एग्जाम में चेक नहीं करना है. डोंट वेस्ट योर टाइम. अगर फर्स्ट थ्री ऑप्शंस आर नॉट आंसर्ड, इफ यू आर गोइंग बाय ऑप्शंस, देन डोंट डू एनी चेक. ठीक है. डिवाइड दिस स्पेस. D minus 1500 is less than 700, or I can say D is less than 2200. Yes, D should be less than. Minus of, मैं पूरा करता हूँ. Multiply by minus 1. So D should be greater than 800, less than 2200. Option B is the right answer. So इस केस में you have to go by. अब आपको जो लिखना है, जो समझना है, समझो, करो. But going by option makes a lot of sense. I'll also tell you if you don't have to go without options, not by options, तो क्या करना है वो मैं बताऊंगा. But अभी ऐसे समझो. Let me know when done. हम लोग आगे बढ़ेंगे. तो आप ऐसे चार ऑप्शन चेक करना और निकालना. ठीक है. आगे बढ़े इसमें. I want to add something to this question. Now I am going back to the question. So there is a shortcut for this. There is a trick to solve this. You can also go the trick way. But trick will only work if question is of this type. Now after you have read the question, आप ये तो identify कर पाते हो that distance they are talking about, it has to be greater than 800 and less than 2200. D would lie in between these two values. ये identify हो जाता है पढ़ने के बाद. ये समझ में आया कैसे identify हुआ? आगे पक्का. So if you can identify this, which is inclusive in between range value, that D will be in between these two, you can directly apply the trick I'm telling you, or shortcut I'm telling you. दो ऐसे लाइन बनाओ, which is mod, ऐसे निकालो, अभी निकालो, ना बड़ा बनाओ. Write the variable here. In your case, what is the variable? Put a minus sign. Give the midpoint. Give the midpoint of the range. What is the midpoint of the range? 800 and 2200 का midpoint क्या है? 1500. Put a less than वाला sign because this is in between. And give the distance of midpoint from extreme. So midpoint is 1500. What is distance of midpoint from any of the extreme? 700. So that will be your answer. D minus midpoint 1500 less than distance of midpoint from extreme 7. The answer. This is option B. And this will always be true. Okay, now let's solve some more problems. Why don't you solve this one? Question number 17 from your book. पानी डालना है? हाँ, ये. ये क्वेश्चन पिछले क्वेश्चन जैसा नहीं है. There is a change here. What is the change? Let's try and see. For pumpkin carvings, Mr. Shapira will not use pumpkins that weigh less than 2 pounds and, or sorry, more than 10 pounds. If X represents weight of pumpkin in pounds, he will not use. X is weight of pumpkin, he will not use. Which of the following inequality represent all possible value of X? तो अगर आप देखोगे यहाँ पे इसको सॉल्व करते हैं. X is the weight of pumpkin. कौन से pumpkin यूज नहीं करेगा वो? Something that is less than 2 kg or something that is greater than 10 kg. तो आप देखोगे in between नहीं है because X is weight of pumpkin not in use. It is of the extreme वाला 2 से कम 10 से ज्यादा वाले pumpkin यूज नहीं करेगा. विजुअलाइज कर पा रहे हो आप नंबर लाइन पे कि मैं बनाऊं यहाँ पे? You can visualize. He will not use. अभी जो मैंने आपको शॉर्ट ट्रिक बताया था That was that can be used or applied when it is in between wala range, right? इसका क्या trick है? इसका भी वही trick है. Put the variable x. Find the midpoint of 10 and 2, 6. Rather than less than, put a greater than sign. What is x का difference from 2 to 10? कोई भी एक extreme से बोलो. This is your answer, which is option number. This is method 1. Other method is ये जो आपने निकाला है, go by options. And you will see the option D में, this is what you will get. आया समझ में? Can I go ahead? Yes. So, I think before we go for a break, एक छोटा सा question और कर सकते, ठीक है? Or you want to go for a break first? हाँ, चलो, very good. ये लो. Let's solve this problem. I'll give you only 30 seconds. Take 45 seconds. Challenge problem 2. देखो तुम्हारा ट्रिक लगता है क्या डायरेक्ट एप्लीकेशन में क्या उसका कैलकुलेशन मिस्टेक क्या नहीं जानता बट फर्स्ट ट्राई एंड अंडरस्टैंड द क्वेश्चन एंड मेक दैट range if these applicant aids which are the equation equality
Option B. Option B.
B for Bombay and read the question. The applicant's age must be between.
Third option.
है ना? फिर बी कैसे बोला आपने? तो आप क्या करो एग्जाम में? डोंट गो बाय ट्रिक किया भी है तो उस ऑप्शन को वो जो हमने किया रिवर्स इंजीनियरिंग में उसको खोल के देखो. So do that with option B. Do that with option B. See if you are getting it. After reading the question, you should have done this. Okay, I am supposed to find this thing. Sorry, 32. ये सबसे पहले लिखो, so that you know कि वो in between है या वो extreme वाला limit. So answer is option. So I will grant your point. Okay, sir. Complex number. I think now we can take a break. जब आप break से वापस आओगे, we will do complex numbers. So we'll take a break for 5 minutes. So this is like 7:33, 7:38. Come resume. So when I say absolute value, of course we will try and do more such problems with other concepts. But absolute value में, this is what you need to do. Balance problems आपको classwork का करना है जो हमने नहीं किया है. And you are also supposed to do problems from homework. ठीक है? I move to another concept, a newer concept. Rather, this is a concept which you would not have studied up to your standard 10. Complex number. Complex number is part of that fourth area. मैंने आपको बताया था in orientation, heart of algebra, passport to advanced maths, problem solving, data analysis, and additional topic. So this comes under the additional topic. I have seen over the period that in every attempt, 5 बार होता है SAT for international students. So you will find one problem either in section 3 or section 4. एक question आता है इसका. I've not seen and I don't remember and I cannot recall when it has appeared more than once or less than one problem. एक ही problem आता है and that's how it will come. And something very, very basic that they will ask. So if you have studied already in your 11th, आपने पढ़ लिया होगा the complex number. So you will find it very easy and this is one question which is there for taking. You cannot miss on this one. So chalo complex number पढ़ना. So what do you mean by complex number? What number is complex number? Any idea? So we know of something called as numbers, we know natural numbers, whole numbers, rational, irrational, real numbers, but there is something called as complex numbers. If you look, you know, the logic or the rationale behind it is that when we started, whenever mankind started doing things and only numbers बनाए, symbols बनाए, 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly we say we work in decimal system, जिसमें 10 symbols हैं, 0 से लेके 9. Possibly people say that is because we have 10 fingers, so that's how a decimal system is. Computers work in binary systems and 0, 1, 0, 1. So there was a system which is called real numbers. So mathematical scientists, when they were working on this, they said, what if, you know, there is a number where I am saying that I am finding square root of negative. Now, in real world, this is not defined. You cannot find square root of a negative number. ये defined नहीं है real world. Yeah, real numbers is called. But then these mathematical scientists, they said that what if we have to find square root of a real number, negative number? They said, let's say that square root of -1 is I. And उन्होंने उसका नाम दे दिया I और I नाम दे दिया. And they said that, let's say this is the complex number that we have. And they said that every complex number, or every number for that matter, अगर आप कोई भी लोगे, तो they said let this be an imaginary part. ये कुछ imaginary part है जो real world में exist नहीं करता. तो किसी भी number का, let's say a number z, will have two parts. It will have a real part जिसको हमने A बोला, and it will have an imaginary part जिसको हमने IB बोला. So this part is real, and this part is imaginary. Where A and B are real number, A भी real number है, B भी real number है, but वो B के आगे I लग गया, it becomes imaginary part. So real part plus imaginary part, whatever. Has got my voice and that's some search because it says we'll have two partial real parts. मेरी voice को और yes. Why is that? What? Go back. Exit. Close YouTube. Go back to Zoom. exit.
Should be a back.
Yes. Okay. So we are back. There was some problem. Anyway, so there is a real part and imaginary part. And when I say real part, imaginary part, you take number. Right? Now, for all real numbers, what happens is imaginary part is zero, which means b becomes equal to zero. So फिर the new definition came was that every number is a complex number. The only difference is in real numbers, b is equal to zero. Hence, there is no imaginary part. There is only real. Imaginary part अगर होगा तो b zero नहीं होगा. This is how you define this. But most importantly, now this is something I don't think they will ever or should not ask to answer. ये तो सिर्फ complex number का एक understanding है.
Yes.
Complex number, where would they exist? Of course, they will not exist on real planes. They will exist on complex planes. That's what तुमको एक background दे रहा हूँ. Complex plane में क्या होगा? Complex plane में there is a real part and there is an imaginary part. So if I say a plus ib, let's say a unit ये है, b unit ये है. So this is that number which is a plus ib, which is this. This is that. Okay, ये कुछ ऐसा. So they will exist on complex plane. Now, what is important from SAP perspective is to understand this concept of I, where I is defined as root of minus one. ठीक है, तो इसका power cycle आपको आना चाहिए. What is power cycle for this? What is I square? Square both sides. I square minus. What is I cube? I multiply I on both sides. I get I cube as minus I. What is I to the power 4? It's nothing but plus 1. Okay. What is I to the power 5? Multiply I on both sides. I to the power 5 will be back to I. I to the power 6 will be again minus 1. I to the power 7 will be minus I. And I to the power 8 will be again plus 1. So this is called as power cycle of I, which you must know when you are solving problem in SAP. ये आना जरूरी है. ठीक है? इसमें ये आपको पता होना चाहिए. Whenever you have I का power is 4 का multiple, अगर I का power 4 का multiple है, उसका value क्या होगा? Plus 1. बोलो, याद रहेगा? I cannot say similar thing for 3 का multiple or 2 का multiple. वो 4 का multiple है तो 2 का multiple होगा. But अगर वो 4 का multiple नहीं है, तो I cannot say that it will always be plus 1. आपको ये याद रखना. If it is an even power, it will be either plus 1 or minus 1. Okay, these are few conclusions that you can draw. So you must know what is, all of this. So if I ask you, what is I to the power 59? Please solve for me. Rather 59 मत लो, 39. I to the power 39. How? Good, minus I. ठीक है, I to the power 59. अच्छा चलो ऐसा नहीं करते हैं. जो तुम बोल रहे हो मैं उसी से जाता हूँ. I to the power 9. Yes. So here I call. Why is I to the power 9 minus I? Because 9 is 3 का multiple. I just now said I cannot conclude about 3 का multiple here because ये 4 का power side है. I to the power 8 क्या होगा ये बताओ मुझे. +1. इसके बाद मैं I मल्टीप्लाई करूंगा दोनों साइड, मतलब 4 के मल्टीपल में एक ज्यादा, 4 का मल्टीपल से एक ज्यादा. So what will be I to the power 9? आया समझ में कैसे आया? नहीं आया? Understood? है ना? So it is very important to understand this. So Garv, the conclusions that you can draw is number 1, if it is 4 multiple I ka power, it will always be equal to +1. No other conclusion can be drawn. Second, if power is even, for sure it would be +1 or -1. I am not sure what है. तो अगर 4 का मल्टीपल है तो +1 हो जाएगा, 2 का मल्टीपल है तो -1 हो जाएगा. If it is 3 का मल्टीपल, I cannot say anything. I don't know. समझ में आया? So for example, 33, ये 3 का मल्टीपल है, but I have to understand 33 is nothing but 32 + 1. Which is 4 का मल्टीपल से एक ज्यादा. समझना क्या? If it is 30, it is 4 का मल्टीपल से 2 ज्यादा. 4 का मल्टीपल से 2 ज्यादा मतलब, if you remember, I to the power 1 is I square is -1, correct? I cube is -I, and I to the power 4 is क्या था? So if it is power 30, it will be a 4 का multiple, 29, 30, -1 is the answer. Got it? So ये power cycle आपको याद रखना. Last thing that you must know with respect to complex number is arithmetical operations on complex numbers. If I have to add two complex numbers, I have a complex number 3 plus 2i, which I have to add another complex number 4 plus 7i to it. How do I do this? Add real parts. 3 plus 4, 7. Add imaginary part. 2 plus 7, 9. 9. Answer is 7 plus 1. Real add हो जाएगा, imaginary हो जाएगा. And that's all. Okay. Let's say I have to perform subtraction. So subtraction उसी तरह से. Subtract real part. 3 minus 4. 2i minus 7i. Okay. Coming down to multiplication. If I have to multiply two complex numbers, you will have to apply distributive law. How does that work? 3 multiplied over this. 3 4s are 12, 3 7s are 21. 2i into distributed over this. 2i into 4 is 8i. 2i into 7i is 2 7s are 14i. Bolo. Let's solve this. This will be 12 plus 29i. I square is I square का क्या value है? -1. So I can write this as -4. 12 minus 14. -2 plus 29i is the answer. बोलो ये समझ में आ गया आपको? So this is when you multiply, use distributive law. Last part. What if we have to divide? So if you have to divide, आपने जो थर्ड्स में करके आप रैशनलाइजेशन, डिनोमिनेटर का कॉन्जुगेट लेके मल्टीप्लाई डिवाइड करो. कॉन्जुगेट मतलब इमेजिनरी पार्ट का साइन चेंज. सो मल्टीप्लाई बाय कॉन्जुगेट ऑफ डिनोमिनेटर डिवाइड बाय कॉन्जुगेट ऑफ डिनोमिनेटर. सॉल्व. आइडिया इज आई को डिनोमिनेटर से हटा दो. 3 4s are 12, 3 7s are 21, 4 2s are 8. So -21 plus 8 is -39. देखना मैं सही कर रहा हूँ कि नहीं. 2 7s are 14 i square. So minus plus upon A plus B into A minus B, A square minus B square. देखो मैंने सही किया है क्या, तुमको समझ में आ रहा है क्या? So this is equal to 26 minus 39 upon 65. Just check if I have done this correctly. Go through the building. 8i minus 51i. 2 sevens are 14i squared. So when you are dividing, basically take the conjugate of denominator, multiply, divide. जैसा rationalization करते हो वैसे किया और ये आ गया. सही किया है मैंने?
Yes.
So इसमें real part क्या होगा? What will be the real part? 26 by 65 plus imaginary part I 13 by 65. बोलो समझ में आ रहा है?
If we got that by 60.
चलो देखो. So this is A plus B into A minus B. What is that? A square minus B square.
Yes.
A square minus B का square. A square. 4 का square. 16. 7i का square. 49i square. What is I square का value? Minus 1. बोलो any problem नहीं. तो ये हमने conjugate इसीलिए लिया था ताकि डिनोमिनेटर में से i चला जाए. आगे समझ में? This is like three course you will get on complex number जहाँ पे कुछ mathematical operation. ये ठीक है? आप कुछ questions कर सकते हैं क्या इस पे? Question 1. Exercise 5.2, question number 1. Which of the following is equal to I upon I cube?
Sir, option B.
Option B. What is option B?
Minus.
Minus I. है ना? चलो let's see. मैं यहाँ पे solve करता हूँ. 1 upon I cube. बोलो क्या करना है? What is the first thing I should do?
I cube is given. It means the power.
I cube is given. So,
the cycle, so the value of I cube is
so
minus.
this is nothing but 1 upon minus I.
Yes.
But अभी मैंने आपको बताया डिनोमिनेटर में तो I नहीं देना है. So 1 upon minus I. हाँ ठीक है. अब क्या करें? So basically बोलो what should I do? Conjugate of minus I would be I upon I. है ना? So this can be written as I upon minus I into I. Minus I square.
Yes.
What is value of minus I square? इसका क्या value है?
Plus.
हाँ.
So minus 1.
I square is minus 1. So I write I upon minus of minus 1. ये क्या हो जाएगा? I upon plus 1, which is what? I. क्या आंसर निकाला आपने? क्या आंसर आ रहा है? अब आप ये वाली वर्किंग प्लीज देखिए. आंसर इज ऑप्शन ए. Please look at the working that we have done on board. Match with what you have done on copy. Please realize the mistake. Otherwise, let me know. I'll try and help you. बताओ गलती समझ में आ गई क्या? क्या गलती थी आपने?
Sir, I do not let I be on the denominator. I do not let I be on the denominator.
Chalo, next problem on your screen now. Question 2. Where A and B are constant, ध्यान से पढ़ना. If A plus BI is this product of two complex numbers, what is value of A plus B? तो तुमको उस product का A part निकालना है, B part निकालना है और दोनों को ऐड करना है. समझ में आ गया? Question 2 from you. What happened? You want me to do this, all this for you? सही कर रहे हो. What is 3 plus 8? कहाँ पे लिखा है आपने? ये क्या कर रहे हो आप? इसको ठीक से लिखो ना. अच्छा 2i plus 11 लिख दिया. क्यों लिखा आपने ऐसा? 11 plus 2i क्यों नहीं लिखा? वो काटो, लिखो 11 plus 2i. ठीक है? Now, what is A? If this is equal to A plus BI, what is A in this? What is B? B is not 2. What is A plus B? Why were you struggling? वो तो क्या क्वेश्चन? हाँ? ये सब क्या कर रहे हो? आ गया समझ में? बस क्वेश्चन हो गया था. चलो, let's go to the next problem. What is value of A? You just did this with multiplication. Now there is a division problem. चलो ये. What is value of A?
7.
Very good. Very good. Next problem. This is real SAT. Let's see. Which of the following cannot be value of M? I to the power M is equal to minus R. तो आपको ये देखना है कि माइनस आई कब आता है, because that cannot be value of M. So 30 seconds. Option?
Cannot be the values. Sir, option B.
Option
B.
B. Correct. How?
Sir, I was found out the line.
Otherwise, if you look, if it has to be minus I, it is 4 का multiple less 1.
Yes.
Is this 4 का multiple less 1? Yes. 16 minus 1, 15. 4 का multiple less 1? Yes. 20 minus 19. Yes. 28 minus. This is not 4 का multiple minus 1. So this will not be minus I. ठीक है? चलो next problem. Let's solve this. Question number 9 from your book. What is the value of root of minus 18 into root of minus 50? Written in simplest form.
So now I.
Why not? चलो साथ में करते हैं, है ना? So root of गर्भ minus 18 into root of minus 50 करना है. Give me some idea. What should I do? Arithmetically, अगर मुझे root of A into root of B निकालना होता है, तो मैं इसको ऐसे कर देता हूँ. Root of A into B. Okay? ये clear है?
Yes.
Now, but the problem here is, let's say if you do that, let's say you do that. We हो जाएगा root of minus 18 into root of minus 50,
Yes.
which can be written as root of plus 900, which is equal to 30. But this is wrong. Why? क्योंकि ये जो आप करते हो ना, root of A into root of B is equal to root of AB. This is true when you are in a real system. ये तो complex है. Because root of minus 18 cannot be defined. It is root of 18 R. इसी तरह root of minus 50 is nothing but root of 50 R. ये real numbers होंगे.
Yes.
Root of minus 18 and root of minus 50. Now if I solve this, I will write it as root of I square. Root of 900 is 30 and I square is minus 1. Answer is minus. ये गलत था. Yes. चलो जो आपको लिखना है फटाफट लिखो and then we go ahead. समझ में आया जो मैंने किया?
Yes. Yes.
आगे चले। Let's solve this. What is value of minus I to the power 42? ये करना है भैया। This is real SAT again. These are the kind of questions you face.
So an option C.
C is absolutely correct. Very good. है ना?
Yes.
क्योंकि I to the power 48 मुझे प्लस 1 देगा, 4 का मल्टीपल है, माइनस साइन बाहर लगा हुआ है, माइनस 1. वेरी गुड. चलो आगे चलते हैं. Let's solve this. This is a gradient. मैंने gradient समझाया था आपको. कोई ऑप्शन नहीं होता, आपको आंसर लिखना होता है, 4 स्पेस होते हैं. ये वाला करो. Take 1 minute time. 19 on your book. What is the value of K if AB minus 15 is equal to 60? A complex number है, B a complex number है, उनका product minus 15 is equal to 60. What is value of K? बोलो भाई क्या हुआ? करो. Why do you want to do this? This is anyway not defined. चलो, मुझे now, so you tell me about this step. ये step मुझे लिखो. Last step that you have written in your notebook. Tell me that. 3ki
minus 36
minus 36i
plus 4k
plus 4k is equal to 48. हाँ, ठीक है. अब यहाँ पे देखो, पक्का ये है ना?
yes
Now, let me see one second.
yes
ठीक है. Now let's see. Can I write this thing as यहाँ पे देखो. ऐसे लिख सकता हूँ.
yes
So let me equate the real part. 4k is equal to 48. Or k is equal to, or why real part, imaginary part भी check कर लेते हैं. So can I say minus of 3k minus 36 is equal to 0, or 3k is equal to 36, or k is equal to either ways. So what is the value for this k? इसमें क्या करोगे आप gradient में 12. चलो लिखो, जो आपको कॉपी करना है करो, and then you go ahead. And I think we'll solve one more problem before we call it off.